Happy screen time and thank you for subscribing for daily Pokemon Sleep Rotomfoolery. This year, when it comes to non-event weeks, we have spent a week and a half on Greengrass Isle, so we are in rare territory, and I am ready to have my heart broken. From all the endorphins of feeling like we're progressing so fast, to then turning around and getting the stupidest spawns ever. Not saying that we will today, but that's just what I'm expecting this to feel like every day. Last night we got some news in the game. Maintenance is coming. And we knew there had to be one soon to get the Halloween event into the game, but some unexpected things were announced as well. So today I'm going to talk to you about what is included in the maintenance, what we might expect as far as a Datamine is concerned, and what might happen that we're not expecting. Expect the unexpected on Big Brother. We'll start at the top and work our way down, but I won't make you just read the news along with me the whole time. You can just watch me play, or turn it into podcast mode. First up is preparation for the Halloween 2024 Double Candy Research event. Notably, this is not just called Halloween 2024. The name of the event actually includes the words Double Candy Research, which makes me think that maybe next year they have a different idea of what Halloween could be, or maybe they're just trying to get better at naming the events. Anyway, most of the event details are out. The Datamine of this information should tell us about the event missions for the week, more specifics on the rewards for those missions, as well as provide some of the event area imagery and the music, which I predict will be the same music as last year, the Lavender Town theme. But if it is the same one, I won't even be mad because that thing was a banger. Next up, some new alarms are being added called Berry Collection and Quiet Awakening. You probably won't have to wait for Halloween to use these. I'm guessing they will be in the game right away. But shout yourself out in the comments if you're somebody who actually uses the alarms from this game, or if you use something else. Next up is the addition of the new main skill Disguise, parentheses Berry Burst. Mimikyu will arrive in the game on 10/28, and this will be its main skill. Ahead of Mimikyu actually showing up, we will start learning details about it from the Datamine, I imagine. We will find out whether or not it is a skill specialist, and things like what its frequency are, the drowsy power it requires to spawn, the rank needed for the spawn, its carry limit in the inventory, and its recruitment costs, for example. Generally speaking, when a Pokemon is added to the game's code, we can learn just about everything about it, with the exception being its ingredients, which I imagine for Mimikyu won't matter that much. We should also learn details about the main skill leveling, meaning the differences between level 1, 2, 3, and how high the main skill can be leveled up to, which should give us a little bit more context about how Berry Burst works, but there still may be a healthy amount of speculation before the Mimikyu actually releases. Those are the new features being added to the game. Let's move to another update about the game's contents. A pop-up notification is being added for when an incense is not used during sleep research, and it goes back to your bag. And you might be wondering, why would my incense be used? Just use it. But there are two scenarios that I'm aware of where an incense would be returned to the bag. So I think this is just a message to cover these scenarios, and I'm guessing that they got some support tickets about this from players. That or they're just being really proactive. Scenario 1 is, and there are already 10 spawns, but a Pokemon incense is used. 10 spawns is the absolute max, you can't have 11, and you get the 10 by maxing out your 8 spawns in an area, having a good camp ticket running, and having an additional spawn from an event bonus. The next scenario is about friend incense. Basically, if all of the Pokemon that spawned are already hungry and there is nothing to use the incense on, it will go back into the bag. Now, the odds of all of your Pokemon becoming hungry and a friend incense being not used is probably very, very, very low. But I guess if you had a minimum number of spawns and there was a week with hungry bonus, that it's possible it could happen. Some balance adjustments are also coming to the game, starting with adjustments to the main skill Energizing Cheer S. Earlier this year, this skill was updated so that the cheer had a higher chance of selecting the Pokemon on your team with the lowest energy, instead of being just totally random. Now they are increasing that chance just a bit more, which I personally think is awesome. Generally speaking, if I pull out my Energizing Cheer Pokemon, in my case Slowking, it's because I'm hoping it will target my lowest energy Pokemon, which are my Golduck and Vaporeon, that have energy recovery down. So they typically are lower energy than the rest of my team, and especially when my healer has a bad day, like we did yesterday, which is why you're going to see 2 healers on my team this morning. We gotta get that energy back up. Something that no one saw coming were adjustments to Houndour and Houndoom, whose main skill is being changed from Charge Strength S to Charge Strength M, and if they only change that main skill, he would get a lot more powerful, so they are also reducing the main skill chance for the Houndour line. I assume that this will make Houndour and Houndoom stronger stronger overall, but time will tell. It's hard to believe that they would nerf this Pokemon, but here's a conspiracy theory. What if they are testing this change specifically to see how the player base responds, so that later they can do this exact same thing to Golduck? Any discussion of Golduck will mention that you have to log into the game all the time, and I wouldn't be surprised to find out in a future update that Golduck had this main skill change to make him more worthwhile to use for more players, while still staying at the top of the charge strength skill specialists. But that's just complete speculation, and I love Golduck and I don't mind logging in every 10 minutes. Okay, obviously I don't log in that often. I think the bigger deal here is that main skills can be changed, and obviously it's kind of staying the same, but like, will all of the Dream Shard Magnet Pokemon suddenly get new skills one day? That could be cool. Another main skill change is coming to Umbreon, the whipping boy of the evolutions in Pokemon Sleep. Sorry, I mean the whipping Breon, the whipping Eon? The whipping Mon. Umbreon is getting a buff. Its skill is changing to be called Moonlight, which seems to be the same as Charge Energy S, except that it will also apply the new concept that we're seeing on Mimikyu. We learned that Mimikyu would sometimes have a great success on its skill, which would add an additional bonus to the skill, and it seems to be the same concept that's being added to Umbreon. So there's a chance, and I would guess once between each sleep session. Jury's still out on that technically, so like maybe naps do become more valuable. Anyway, the way that I read this is that periodically Umbreon will trigger an Energizing Cheer in addition to its own skill. Now the odds that this is going to happen is pretty high because Umbreon can trigger its main skill a lot, but its main skill chance is also being nerfed, although Umbreon's skill trigger is so high that you would have to nerf it a lot for anyone to notice, or you'd have to get people to catch and start using Umbreon to get them to notice. I guess I don't even have one. I imagine that Umbreon users will argue until they get one that's blue in the face that this moves Umbreon from the F tier to the D tier, but I actually think that this still leaves it in the F tier. That's just my opinion. Fight me in the comments. No, I won't fight. I'll just be like, yeah, cool. I think the bigger deal here is that great successes could be added to other Pokemon skills. Maybe Drifloon could be more viable if it could get a stockpile 2 or 3 at a time on a great success. Maybe Helper Boost could trigger as if there was one more Pokemon there. Or, like the way I've interpreted Umbreon, that it's like it sometimes gets an Energizing Cheer trigger. It would be cool if Pokemon could trigger other skills, but just once a day. And maybe it would just be limited to skill specialists. We'll see about that too. I just worry that Metronome is going to get buried further and further from relevance. I love the randomness of it, but I think some of these new skills just make Metronome really problematic. Please note that these changes will happen to Pokemon you've already caught. Please note that Halloween Pikachu will also be faster, which, as we know for berry specialists, is always welcome. We will probably learn the specific frequency from the Datamine. Tracking device sharing will be defaulted to on and will only affect players who are not reading this news. Session 449 benefits from all of the previous text adjustments and unifications, as well as other small bug fixes and adjustments from previous updates. Hey, look at me going to bed at a more reasonable hour. I was not expecting snoozing, but I guess I have to get it at some point. Hopefully, if I continue to fix my bedtime this week, I will have better shots at dozing and Bulbasaur. And I am preparing myself at this moment to be underwhelmed. Guys, it's a Jigglypuff as seen from above. Okay, I'm suddenly really considering the angles of these Pokemon. Like, how are we high enough above Snorlax to see Snorlax's face, but we're low enough to see Jigglypuff's pointed down face? Also, we got Slowbro Pikachu, Slackoth, Rattata, Diglett. I feel very pleased that I reached the max 8 spawns on the first day. You'll love to see it. Unfortunately, our good camp ticket is gone, and why aren't we moving? I honestly forgot that this happened this morning, but we totally froze for a long time and I eventually gave up. Happy screen time, and do we have to do all this over again? Nope, we're gonna pick up right where ask the question, who wants a treat? Oh good, the only thing I was really interested in catching wants a treat. And because we got lucky on that, we probably won't get lucky with the result, but maybe he's hungry because of all the extra berries he has to carry because he's really good at berry finding. Even though Pikachu is so fast, maybe he's hungry from having helping bonus and helping speed, right? Maybe he's just elite and that's why he got hungry. All of these other Pokemon are lazy. I mean, look at Slackoth. It's like slacking around. Oh, I didn't mean to offend you, man. Come back. Alright, back to our savings plan. We are going to be saving up some biscuits for future Pokemon. We do not need more Diglett, more Rattata, more Slowbros. Eventually I will hunt a Slackoth, and I debated for a bit about what picture to send today, and then I thought of my man Polly. I assume you're gonna enjoy a Jigglypuff candy, so here you go, man. Otherwise I would have probably sent out Pikachu, and hopefully we get a decent number of Dream Shards. Okay, over 3,000 on a Monday makes me feel like we should be good this week. Do you already have an expanded pot? I'd love to get a peek at yours. Alright Pikachu, we want to see something epic today. If you have the right sub skills, your life could change overnight. You wake up one morning hungry, then we just shove a bunch of candy down your throat. Okay, well, I love to see all that helping speed. Ooh, I made a rash judgment. I'm so sorry, you don't have Berry Finding S. You are the weakest Linkachu. Goodbye. And one small update, I have to ask for forgiveness for complaining too much because we did get that 3-meat treat, Aaron. If we take this guy up to level 60, he will bring us 94 bean sausage per day, which will be worth the investment. And at level 75, he'll get even better, and it won't be as hard to get him to 75. So this Aron is good enough, and I've named him Sleezers after Little Caesars, where you can buy a 3-meat treat. This is not a paid promotion, but it could be. Hit me up, Little Caesars. I'll even let you rename that Aron. Let me know what you think about the update that's coming down in the comments. Let's do this again sometime. Happy researching.